Alright, so in this problem, it says, if Ivan gives Ben 2/3 of his money, Ben will have 4 times as much money as Ivan would have then. If instead, Ben gives Ivan 1/3 of his money, Ivan will have $14 more than what Ben would have then. How much money do the boys have altogether? Alright, the question says if Ivan gives Ben, and if Ben gives Ivan. So really, this is just telling us to find how much money they had in the original scenario. But to find that, we're going to need to do the whole question. All right, so first I'll just do a table so we can really see. All right. The table isn't looking very nice, so I'm going to go to the layout and fix it. There we go. Right, Ivan, not whatever that said, and Ben. Let me just do something here. There we go. That'll just make everything good and in the middle, but touching the corner of the left edge. All right. So now we can actually do the question, but first we should really highlight the parts of the question so we can focus on each of them at different times. Right now we're going to focus on this part of the question, which I will make purple. I'm also going to highlight this part of the question, even if we aren't doing it now. There we go, a dark orange, so it's easier to see. Now we're doing the purple part, which is the original scenario. Okay, I'll write it. Original scenario has a C. Okay, we did that. And I'm going to highlight it purple, just to match the first part of the question, because that's what we're working on in this original scenario. Okay, it says if Ivan gives Ben 2/3 of his money, Ben will have 4 times as much money as Ivan would have then. Alright, so we have to make his 2/3. I'm going to make this unit bar represent this, one of his thirds. Alright, back here. That's 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. But it says here that he gives Ben 2/3. So I'm just going to take them from Ivan and actually give it to Ben. I'm going to actually take it away from Ivan again, and then give it to Ben. Okay, there we go. Now, we did that. It says Ben will have 4 times as much money as Ivan would have then. Alright, so to make 4 times, we have to do 4 times 1. Now 4 times 1 is 1, 4. 4 times 1 is not 1, it's 4. So that means he needs 4 bars. For Ben, I'm going to use this color yellow to represent his bars. But of course, Ivan did give him those bars, so those aren't technically his. So we're going to make those purple because they're really Ivan's. Now we can see that Ben does have 4 times the amount Ivan has. All right, but to make this the original scenario, we could take these and give them back to Ivan because we defined what they had originally, not what they had if they gave each other things. There we go. Let me just take it from Ben and give it back to Ivan. There we go. We could see now that Ivan had 3 bars, while Ben had 2, because we gave them to him, followed this part of the question, and then took them back. So now we can see that this is really the original scenario. Okay, so now we're working on this part of the question, the orange part. It says, if instead Ben gives Ivan 1/3 of his money, Ivan will have $14 more than what Ben would have then. All right. All right. And to make another table, I'll just copy and paste this one because we're going to really need the original numbers so we could change them to match the following question, or just the question, not really the following question, is it? I'm going to make the table a bit higher, right? Okay, so this is not the original scenario because we're going to make it the second scenario. So we could actually write the second scenario. Space. Why don't we give that a capital just to be consistent? Ah, whoops. For some reason I always do that. Okay, this time I actually have to click on it. All right, so we changed it, and it says, if Ben gives Ivan 1/3 of his money, Ivan will have $14 more than what Ben would have then. There's a problem here, though. Ben doesn't really have anything to give 1/3, so we're going to get rid of both of these and cut them into smaller pieces so we could give those 1/3 away. We're going to be using these. We could see here that this unit bar is made up of 3 tiny ones like this. So I'm going to make 3 tiny ones for each bar Ben has. 3. Now he had 2 bars, so that's how many he really had. We cut them into smaller pieces now. We have to divide those pieces into 3 groups because that's what it means by thirds. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pieces here. So if we divide 6 by 3, it equals 2. So 2 squares represent 1/3. Or 1/3 represents 2 squares. So we'll take these 2 squares and give them to Ivan, just like the question says. So we gave them away. We gave them away to Ivan. Now it says, Ivan will have $14 more than what Ben would have then. All right, but we have to actually know how much extra he has. So I'm just going to draw it out. We can see that here, this is the extra amount Ivan has. Ben doesn't have this. He has a bar and a third. Ivan has more. He has, because each one is made up of 3 little squares. Ivan has 1, 2 of the squares. The other one is here with Ben. You can't really tell from my rectangle. It isn't that good. But it is there. He has this amount. He has 2 squares and a bar. All right, a bar is made out of 3 squares, so 2 plus 3 is 5. And then he has 2 more yellow ones. So 5 plus 2 is 7. That means he has 7 more. He has 7 more than Ben. He also has $14 more. He also has 14 more dollars than Ben. There we go. Okay, so now we really have to know what amount of money does each square represent. To do that, we must divide 14 by 7 because he has 7 squares all in total and $14. And 14 divided by 7 is 2. So now we know that 1 square actually represents 2. That's a huge arrow, but that's okay. So we're counting money here, so it's $2. All right, so now that we know what 1 square represents, what does 1 bar represent? All right, to find out what 1 bar represents, we must know how many squares each bar has. So if 1 square is $2 and each bar this rectangle unit has 3 squares, so that's 3 times 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. So that now we know that each bar represents $6. Because each square represents 2 and there's 3 squares. So 3 times 2. I'll do this one. The one that the arrow is coming out of, not the one the arrow is pointing to. Okay. And that is $6. That doesn't look very nice. So I'll just move that so you can really see it. There we go. Doesn't matter which one it's really pointing to, since this one is a bar and this one is also a bar. Both of them actually equal $6. Not all together, but just on their own. Alright, so on the last part of the question, it says, how much money do the boys have all together? Well, to find how much money the boys have all together, we know now that each square represents $2 and each bar represents $6. Alright, so Ben has 2 bars and each bar represents $6, so 2 times 6 is 12. I will write that down. Alright, $12. And Ivan has 3 bars. That's 3 times 6, and that equals 18. So he has $18. There we go. So now that we know how much each boy has, we have to know how much they have all together. Just go back on the mouse. Because that's what the question says. How much money do the boys have all together? If Ben has 12 and Ivan has 18, we just add them together. And 12 plus 18 is 30. All right. So we actually have to write that down. And so we don't forget it, because that is our actual answer. Ben, he had $12. And then I'll do an and. Ivan, and he has $18. All right. Just write here answer. I probably should have done another space. This really has nothing to do with that much. The answer is $30. All right, so I'm going to clear all of this stuff and do this. There we go. There, that's better, but we can't really see the table, which doesn't matter since now we're going to check our work. So we have to get rid of the table so we can't see it. That's far enough. Okay, I'm now going to check the answer, and I'm going to check if the purple statement is actually true. So to do that, take this. And put it here. Put it here. There we go. Put it there. Just move it down one more space. And I'll do that. I'll highlight it purple here. All right, it says, if Ivan gives Ben 2/3 of his money, Ben will have 4 times as much money as Ivan would have then. All right, so Ivan has $18, and 2/3 of 18 is 12. 1/3 of 18 is 6, so it's 2 times 6, and that is 12. So if we give Ben 12, we could do whatever we want with this one, really, because we have that one here. By doing whatever we want, we don't really mean doing whatever we want. We have to check our answer. So Ben will now have 24, and Ivan will have 6, because he gave the rest of it away, which was 12. He gave it to Ben. Now it says Ben will have 4 times as much money as Ivan would have then. All right. And to check that, I'm going to do 24 divided by 6. And 24 divided by 6 is actually 4. So we know that Ben does have 4 times as much money as Ivan. Because if we were to multiply 6 by 4, we would get 24 as an answer. All right, so we know that. Now I'm going to highlight it purple because this is really for the purple answer. For the purple statement, really. Not for the purple answer, for the purple statement. Okay, so we have another one to test this statement. Right here, it says, if instead Ben gives Ivan 1/3 of his money, Ivan will have $14 more than what Ben would have then. Alright, so if Ben gives Ivan 1/3 of his money, we divide 12 by 3 parts. Each part would be $4. So that means he's giving $4 to Ivan. We'll take away $4 from 12 because he's giving that, and that equals 8. Ivan is receiving $4, so it's 18 plus 4, which is 22. Now we have to check, because it says here, Ivan will have $14 more than what Ben would have then. Alright, let's check that. We're going to do 22 minus 8. 22 minus 8 is 14. So that means if we add 14 to 8, we will get at 22. So Ivan does have $14 more than what Ben would have if he really gave 1/3 of his money to Ivan. This is really an if statement. It's not like they're actually giving each other money. It's what says if instead, and if. We'll make that orange to represent the orange part of the question. Really, now that you've checked that each statement is true, we really know that the answer is 30. Because if each statement is true, then the way we did the question was right, and our answer should be correct. Because we did all the things, and we have our original answers, and they equal 30. So we know our answer 30 is correct.